Salutations everybody, it is Maddie here today bringing you my second and final review of the weekend. This time we're going to be reviewing Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor. Now this game has gotten its fair share of copycat complaints saying that it's too much like Assassin's Creed, it's too much like Batman Arkham, and while those comparisons can be somewhat valid, this game has an identity of its own, it's got its own unique stuff in it, so enough with the comparisons. And I know there have been tons of reviews on this game, so if you're looking for a final decision, you're in the right place. Anyways, Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor starts off very strong, with basically Talion and his family losing their lives, and Talion being brought back from the dead, and cursed to be bond with this wraith, and basically that's where Talion gets his special powers, and the story from there is kind of learning about the past of this wraith, and who he is, why they were brought together, and kind of getting revenge for Talion as well. So it's a very interesting story, and from someone who's seen like all the Lord of the Rings movie and all the Hobbit movies so far, I have to say it does add enough to the universe. It doesn't do any harm. Not the best story in the world, but it's by no means bad, and it's actually very enjoyable, great, keeps me hooked, and I really enjoy playing all the story missions. Anyways, the fun in this game is really just found in the open world gameplay. Basically, it comes from the Nemesis system, which you've heard tons and tons of about. If you've heard of this game, I'm sure you've heard of the Nemesis system. Basically what this is it makes every encounter worth something. Basically, if a random grunt kills you, he will rise up in the ranks as a captain, and then he can kill you again, rise up even further in the ranks until he becomes a war chief. And trust me when I say, folks, you may think this sounds like a little boring mechanic. Perhaps, I highly doubt you will, but you will form these like own personal rivalries with these orcs, or Urks, I mean. And it's crazy. There's this one Urk that's just been irking me so much, and I just want to kill him, but he kicks my ass every time because he's so powerful. So going back and trying to get revenge each time is just a gripping experience. Now, this game is great, and it's got so much to it, but it suffers from the disease I call Ubisoft-itis. And that's basically this. Climb up a giant structure, interact with some object, mini-map gets full of objects that you can search and find, and you find yourself just marking these objectives and going into completionist mode and hunting them down and really not focusing on the world that's been created for you. And while this really isn't going to hurt the review score at all, because so many games do it, it would just be unfair, this is just becoming too much of a trend and it's starting to bother me, so I figured I expressed my concerns. But this game certainly suffers from it, and I find myself a lot of times staring at my mini-map, just hunting down these objectives for some trophies, other than looking at the awesome, most beautiful world that has been created for the Lord of the Rings universe in a video game. And it's just, they've nailed it perfectly. Mordor looks awesome graphically, and just the atmosphere, and there's 2 different maps you can go to, so that's always great. So both of them are full of stuff to do. But the combat, I should also mention, is, like I said, the comparisons have been made to the Batman Arkham games, except if you took Batman and you let him chop heads off and stab people through every limb in their body, then yeah, sure. But yeah, this game is really brutal. Very, very, very satisfying combat. You can really hack up some enemies. There's a whole leveling up system that makes combat easier as time goes on. It's very difficult to start off, and even through the middle, it's still difficult. You can go into a stronghold, and man, you will be swarmed. You thought the Batman challenge mode was hard. Holy crap, when you hop into these strongholds and you think you can take on like 30 Urks, no, you are dead, my friend. There's so many types of enemies that you have to take down that make combat not just as random hack and slash. So yeah, all in all, the combat is enjoyable. They take the right inspirations from the Batman Arkham games and translate it perfectly into its own game, without taking too much from it, if you know what I mean. Similar to something like the Spider-Man games, which are taking a lot from Batman. But all in all, Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor is obviously a very good game. It's a very enjoyable game. Great story, great combat, awesome nemesis system, but it suffers from Ubisoft-itis, which can deter some because it kind of removes a lot of the world discovery and makes you just kind of mark stuff on your map and chase it down. But I'm not going to let that hurt the score. So if you couldn't tell by now, I'm highly recommending that you purchase this game. A lot of people were surprised with the review scores of this game, but I knew for a fact this game was going to be awesome because it just was too cool and just had so much opportunity that it was really hard to fail. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to leave your thoughts in the comments down below on Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.